Hello everyone, and welcome to my new series, How to Make Your Own Minigames in Roblox. This series is going to be covering how to make a minigames game, like Epic Minigames or Ripple Minigames. But before we get into the video, please consider subscribing to the channel if you don't want to miss out on future episodes of this or other cool video series I have planned. Please consider subscribing with post notifications if you don't want to miss out. Also, there's a Discord link in the description. All scripts and models used in the video will be linked there if you guys want to use them. Now, let's get into the video. So, here I have my starter lobby, and the thing I'm going to want to do first is just set up leader stats with our currencies. So let's do that. Let's enter server script service and create a new script, which I'm going to call player stats. One sec, I had caps lock on. Perfect. Now that we have our script named, we can go and start scripting. So the first thing we're going to want to do is check when the player joins. So game.players.player added connect function, and then inside these parentheses we're going to put player. Next, we need to set up our first currency, which I'm going to call cash. So actually, I'm going to be a bit more creative. Let's call my first currency tickets. Local tickets is equal to instance dot new, and then we're going to put some parentheses and we're going to make it a int value, basically an integer. Once you set up your currency, we are then going to go tickets dot name is equal to, and then in quotation marks, tickets. And then finally, below tickets, we are going to soon parent it to leader stats. So what we're going to do next is drop tickets 2 lines, and then above it, we're going to define leader stats. So local leader stats is equal to game, or wait, no, is equal to instance dot new, and then folder. Then we need to name this folder, so leader stats dot name is equal to leader stats. And finally, leader stats dot parent is equal to player. Cool. Now we can just go to the bottom and say tickets dot parent is equal to leader stats. Perfect. Now that we can see that if we go into the game, when we load in, there will be a leaderboard in the top right showing the amount of tickets each player has. Now, an important thing to remember is that mobile players cannot see this leaderboard. So later in the series, I'll be going over a custom GUI we can make somewhere that would display it for mobile players. Cool. Now let's go back up and set up some other stuff. Next, we want to set up our main GUI, which will basically be a thing called status at the top, which will tell the player what is currently going on. Now, I'm actually going to teach you quite a few services with this, being tween service and using remote events and remote functions. So we're going to finish this, and then we will do some more game scripting in the next episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new screen GUI and start a GUI. I'm going to call this status. And inside status, I'm going to create a text label, which I'm again going to call game status. Cool. Next, we're going to want to go into the Properties tab and set the anchor point to 0.5 by 0.5. Once you do that, you want to set the background transparency to 1 and the border pixel line to 0. Next is the text style itself. Now, you don't have to do exactly what I do for this part, because everyone's game is going to look different and have different styles. But personally for my game, I'm going to do white, and I'm going to scale the text. That's actually something you should do no matter what, just check text scaled. And I'm going to change my font to cartoon. And then finally, to center it, we're going to want to just move it to the center. Now, one thing that you need to make sure is that you have everything set up to fit all devices, because as you can see right now, if I open the device emulator, this text label is way messed up on like a phone than it would be on a computer. So what I do is I use a plugin called Autoscale Lite. The link will be in the description. That just makes it so you can set the position and scale to both be scale. And then you can also add a constraint so stuff does not get too small. So all you need to do is select your GUI object, press scale, press size, and then add a constraint. So again, these two buttons, and then just add constraint. And then we can see on our mobile device, it looks really good. Also, you can mess with the aspect ratio constraint by bringing this number up or down depending on how big you want it on this little phone here. That's all up to you. I'm just going to keep it the same for now. Cool. Next, what we're going to do is just put a local script, which we will edit in the next video. And I'm just going to call this status controller. And then finally, we're going to put another script in server script service, which I'm going to call main game script. And that will be our 2 parts of this video. So, if you want to not miss out on the next video, please consider subscribing to the channel. This is going to be a pretty long series that's going to involve a lot of modeling, a lot of scripting, and a lot of new concepts for a lot of you newer scripters. So I would really appreciate it if you guys took the time to drop like, drop subscribe, and join the Discord if you want to talk with me. See you next time.